Imagine injecting a substance into your body that's supposed to melt away stubborn pounds, only to discover it's a counterfeit concoction that could land you in the hospital, or worse. That's the chilling reality of skinny jabs, those trendy weight loss injections flooding the black market, and it's more perilous than even the illicit trade of heroin or cocaine. But here's where it gets controversial. In a world where obesity rates are soaring and legitimate options are scarce, are these fake jabs an understandable temptation, or a reckless gamble that's putting lives on the line? Let's dive deep into this eye-opening investigation by ITV News health correspondent Rebecca Barry and senior producer Liz Little, uncovering the hidden dangers lurking behind the allure of quick fixes. Our probe reveals that counterfeit skinny jabs, essentially unlicensed versions of popular weight loss drugs like semaglutide or tirzepatide, are being manufactured in China and illegally imported into the UK through a shadowy underground network. Experts from a national crime agency have dubbed this supply chain more dangerous than the supply of cocaine and heroin, painting a picture of a ruthless black market that's spiraling out of control. The consequences are alarmingly real. We've traced this illicit trade to multiple hospitalizations right here in the UK, with one tragic case involving a woman who ended up in intensive care after her esophagus ruptured from violent vomiting, a side effect that sounds like something out of a nightmare. And this is the part most people miss. These fake injections often come disguised in counterfeit packaging that mimics legitimate products, fooling unsuspecting buyers into thinking they're getting the real deal. Take Mounjaro, a prescription weight loss medication produced by the pharmaceutical giant Eli Lilly. Our investigation uncovered that smugglers are replicating its packaging so convincingly that consumers are duped into purchasing what they believe are authentic injections. Eli Lilly's representatives were unequivocal in their warning to ITV News. Those behind this scam are putting lives at risk by peddling unregulated substances with no safety guarantees. If you're new to this topic, it's worth pausing here for a quick explanation. Weight loss injections like these are designed to help manage obesity by mimicking hormones that regulate appetite and blood sugar. However, they're not magic bullets. They require medical supervision because improper use can lead to severe issues like the ones we've seen. Legally, these can only be obtained with a prescription from a qualified healthcare professional to ensure they're safe and effective. But with obesity on the rise, think millions battling excess weight, and the NHS often struggling to provide these treatments due to limited stock and budgets, plus sky-high private costs that can run into hundreds per month, it's no wonder some turn to cheaper, illicit alternatives. Earlier this year, ITV News spotlighted Dale Dennis, a Yorkshire native now based in Thailand, who's become a social media sensation for hawking unlicensed weight loss drugs. Under his brand Raw, which, for clarity, isn't connected to any other businesses sharing that name, he boasts thousands of followers and a legion of ambassadors worldwide promoting his products. Dennis flaunts a lavish lifestyle in his videos, jet-setting around the globe, sporting pricey watches, and zipping about on jet skis, all while bragging about sourcing new innovations in weight loss. We've been tracking his online antics closely, and our reporters pinpointed a lab in Shenzhen, China, where these unregulated meds are purportedly brewed. When our undercover journalist ordered some online, the package's postal trail led straight back to Goole in Yorkshire, Dennis's hometown. This summer, local health officials and police in Yorkshire sounded the alarm about these rogue skinny jabs after several individuals fell ill. In the nearby market town of Selby, just 10 miles from Goole, 3 women suffered serious health scares from unlicensed injections, with one requiring intensive care treatment due to a ruptured esophagus from severe vomiting. Sources point to Dennis's network as the supplier. Over the past year, our undercover team has acquired multiple batches of these dubious drugs through social media channels tied to him. In one instance, the seller provided bank details leading back to Matthew Archibald, a 35-year-old from Goole who once ran a business in Selby and now resides in York. Despite repeated attempts to reach out to Archibald, he hasn't responded. Tony Saggers, a former head of drugs threat and intelligence at the National Crime Agency, minced no words in his assessment to ITV News. He described this as a perfect storm of supply meeting insatiable demand, arguing it's even more hazardous than trafficking Class A drugs like cocaine or heroin. This is more dangerous than the supply of illicit drugs like cocaine and heroin, he emphasized. The majority of people using those drugs know what they're buying, but with these, they're marketed as legitimate. People are injecting substances that could hospitalize or even kill them. Saggers urged UK authorities to ramp up efforts to dismantle this chain, calling for disruption of dangerous products from non-regulated markets. Shockingly, even after being exposed by ITV News, these operators haven't backed down. In fact, they've upped their game with cunning new tricks. They once messaged our undercover journalist requesting samples of genuine Mounjaro packaging, Soon after, they were peddling fake Mounjaro pens complete with bogus logos, passing them off as authentic. To verify, we procured some through a WhatsApp link and had them analyzed in a lab. The results were jaw-dropping. Instead of the labeled tirzepatide, it contained semaglutide at a dosage at least 20 times higher than safe levels. Professor Perdita Baran from the University of Manchester reacted with disgust, telling us it made her feel sick. Not only was it the wrong drug at the wrong amount, but it was much too much, she explained. People will experience bad side effects, think severe diarrhea, gastric issues, or even dangerous reactions where the injection was given. I strongly advise against buying from anywhere except reputable medical sources. We shared these findings with Eli Lilly, the makers of Mounjaro. Dr. Emily Pegg, the European medical director, echoed the concern, stressing that these fakes lack any regulatory oversight. We don't know how this was made or where. It's not subject to the quality standards of real products, she said. In response, Eli Lilly has reported to the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, MHRA, and is pursuing internal investigations. The MHRA confirms they're probing the claims from our report. Layla Moran, chair of the Health Select Committee and a Liberal Democrat MP, called our revelations absolutely outrageous. Following a recent ITV News story linking a woman's death to a counterfeit skinny jab, she wrote to the MHRA demanding a crackdown on illegal injections. Clearly, we have a huge problem, she stated. We need to drill down into what we do to fix it. There is a regulator with an investigative arm, and the Online Safety Act is supposed to curb these posts. Yet, it's evidently not working. The MHRA spokesperson assured ITV News that their criminal enforcement unit collaborates with Border Force to target these criminal networks, adapting tactics as smugglers evolve. And this is where the controversy really heats up. While authorities pledge action, critics argue that gaps in healthcare access, fueled by underfunded systems and prohibitive costs, are driving people to these risks. Is the black market a symptom of a failing system, or should individuals resist shortcuts that endanger their health? Some might even question if stricter regulations on social media promotions could curb this, or if personal responsibility plays a bigger role. What do you think? Should the temptation of quick weight loss outweigh the dangers, or is it time for a broader overhaul of how we address obesity in the UK? Share your views in the comments. Do you agree that more needs to be done, or disagree with the crackdown calls? Let's discuss. For more exclusive insights, subscribe free to our weekly newsletter at https://iteviews.substack.com for original coverage delivered straight to your inbox every Friday. And if you want a quick expert rundown on major news stories, tune into our latest podcasts to catch what you need to know.